Hello there,
Hello there.
and welcome to What If Qui-Gon Didn't Die? My name's Jamie.
And my name is Shaun, the Jedi Master.
I'm glad you remembered your name there. It sounded like you were going to forget.
it is, what is it? No, remember me name. I'm just so comfortable in these chairs.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Oh, I've got my feet up.
It's so relaxing now. It's so easy to just sort of...
Oh no, look how elongated my mic stand is, because I'm just basically laying down talking to you.
Nice. Very, very nice. I think these were a good purchase. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is our Monday episode, so we like to talk a little bit of Star Wars.
Little bit of Star Wars.
It's a little bit of our alternative theory and headcanon that we like to get into.
Yeah, headcanon is a good way to put it.
Yeah. Just, a bit of nonsense.
Nonsense smithery in the forge of the podcast.
Yeah, so we're going to talk Star Wars stuff, although some of it might not be factually accurate. We hope you enjoy it all the same.
Yeah.
So welcome along. This week, we're just going to discuss our favourite starship.
Yeah, good shout that. Good shout that.
Now this isn't limited to little ships that you see like the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter.
We've got the named ships here as well, people. The Ghost, the Millennium Falcon, Yoda's little ship, which he probably used to call the Yodes.
But we're also going to include stuff like Death Star 2.
Yeah. Imperial Star Destroyer.
Because it is a starship. I don't think it includes Starkiller Base because that's a planet.
That's a moon.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. But anything that flies that can be piloted,
yeah,
I think it would be included. And I don't think anything land-based either. So, even though it technically flies, Luke's land speeder,
yeah, can't have that.
Doesn't count. It's not a starship. It's a
pod racer. It can't go into space.
No.
You see.
So it has to be in space. So let's look at some very basic options first. The most obvious ones, let's start big. We've got the Death Star.
Yep.
We've got Death Star 1, which was complete, and Death Star 2, which was incomplete, but technically should have been far more dangerous.
Yeah.
Would you enjoy piloting one of those?
No.
Would you want to be in charge of a Death Star?
I mean, it's like too much work.
It's good for its single use of blowing up stuff.
Yeah. But imagine getting it through hyperspace.
Yeah.
To get to a destination. For something that big to go through hyperspace.
Yeah.
It must need a phenomenal amount of power. And obviously it's an orb.
Yeah.
And doesn't make sense, but there's like a bit of resistance in space. Some things you see, you're like, oh, why is it blowing as if it's a little bit windy? I just think a big round object, that's no moon, it's a space station. If it's that big to be classed as an actual moon, you're cannon fodder, mate.
Yeah, although it's almost impenetrable.
Almost,
unless you're a plucky hero.
Yeah. But we're not Luke Skywalker, people. You got to think, if you're defending it, can you withstand the Rebel Alliance coming at you?
Yeah, it's too much work, isn't it?
Yeah. Imagine keeping control of how many people you think he's got. What, 1 million people? Billion? A billion people? 7 billion? Because a space station that big.
300 billion? A trillion people
to move something as big as a moon, but all these little consoles are like that big.
Yeah.
And they need to be manned and looked after, and every little lead and copper bit of wiring and stuff like that needs to be...
It would be
more work than it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just... I don't know.
Okay, so if you wouldn't want to be in the Death Star, would you rather be in something tiny, like Obi-Wan's little starfighter that he had.
Sorry, well, I've actually cut you up here because you were going to reel off a couple of names. I've only let you go to that. But a little shuttle. I wouldn't mind a little shuttle. But my personal favourite, which we'll talk about in a little while, is not a little shuttle.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like a one-man band.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is interesting because my favourite is.
Is it?
Very much a single-seater.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to cinema lift sharing then, are we? The Coruscant Cinema.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But you'll hear me before you see me.
Yeah. Reel off a couple more names for the lovely peeps.
Okay. Well, I didn't really have a list ready to go, but here we go.
I'll say something.
Go on, man. You go for it, and I'll.
All right. So we've got the Naboo Royal Cruiser.
Is that Padme's one?
That's Padme's one. So it's got the little rings and the cloak in. It looks like a spread winged falcon.
That's a cool looking ship, isn't it? That's
prequel era ships are a bit more
round and curvy. And
it's like
sexy.
It's like they had a hiking industry, and then when Anakin fell, they went, no, we'll go back to the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
The whole galaxy will just take a turn back.
That's a really good looking ship, and I think it really capitalised on the time that film was made.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Naboo was at the height of its power then, really, wasn't it? Well, apart from being downtrodden by the Senate, however.
I think if you look at cars in real life at that point, late 90s, early 2000s, all cars were trying to get really curvy.
Yeah, the Ford Mondeo.
I'd like to say it's a bit nicer looking than a Ford Mondeo.
No, I just mean like our cars. Everything tried to go curvy like the Ford Mondeo, the nice slick little.
You get something like the old school Nissan Micra was a little box.
Oh yeah.
And then the next one that came out
was the Bug.
Was the little bubbly thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out, you have.
His windows don't work, but fresh air does.
Yeah, so I do like that. It's very of its time in relation to our time, and it's that cloaking device. We don't know if we've really seen that before.
No,
not in any depth, and that was, and because it was like a chrome color as well. It was it
was slick.
It was very, very nice.
It was very nice, yeah. And surprising that more people don't have cloak technology on their ships. Just makes you
real
think
fancy.
There would be some smugglers out there who would definitely benefit from having cloaking on their ships.
I wonder if there's some sort of like registration issue for it. Maybe you've got to have reasonable cause for it. So like because that's a royal ship, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the Queen's ship.
So I wonder if
ship.
It would surprise me that why would more smugglers not have that, or every smuggler worth anything would have that sort of thing on there, and perhaps they do. They just don't really need it because they've got other tech to keep them safe.
Yeah,
maybe it's very power hungry, so they only use it when they really need to use it. Yeah.
All right then. What about the Razor Crest?
Okay. Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, nice, very nice.
His first ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice looking ship. That it does look like it's built with by Lego though.
That's not a bad thing.
No. It's very cool, and it looks held together, old but trustworthy, doesn't it?
And isn't that the Mandalorian?
Yeah,
he's got old school values, but he's very trustworthy.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at it like that, it's kind of the perfect ship.
Yeah.
You know, that is what he should be. He should be piloting.
Yeah, agreed. Love that really, and I love the design as well. The two big turbine things on the side, and then the bulky little. Yeah. No. What about the? Right, we've also got stuff like the Nebulon B frigate, the Rebel convoy ship, boasting a moderate number of cannons, turbo lasers, and tractor beams. Distinguished by a sick bay, Luke Skywalker gets a new hand sewn on while on board one of these at the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Yes,
it looks like the sword hilt, upside down sword hilt. So yeah, it's like just before the cross guard. Very cool looking ship that.
It's a bit busy looking though, isn't it? There's all the levels aren't exactly
there's a lot
lined up.
going on. There's a lot going on.
I always think of it as the medical ship.
Yeah.
Because like I say, that's where Luke is. Whenever I see that ship, I think, oh, that's where the medics are.
Yeah.
And if I was the bad guys, I'd be taking that ship out first.
Yeah. Oh, of course you would.
Because if I'm going to be bad anyway, I might as well be really bad.
Yeah, and kill all the medics.
All those nice people.
Yeah,
see them off
white.
first.
Yeah, waving their little flags. Don't kill us, we're medics. No, if you can't heal your guys, then we technically win the war. All right, then what about this one? The UT-60D. This is the one from Rogue One. It's a U-wing, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
That is when you think of a little spaceship, that is what I sort of get in my mind. Just like a small cockpit, 4 things at the back, flying around space. Looks a little bit 80s. Yeah,
it does have a bit of a
old classic vibe.
Yeah, with the two bits at the front pronging their way through.
Yeah.
Sort of protecting the hull.
Yeah, and the cockpit and the driver from anything that might be coming their way. Yeah, I do. I must admit, I do like that.
That is, that's quite a good looking. It's quite a good looking ship, really, in a kind of utilitarian sense.
Yeah, I do like that. Here we go. Here's another cool one. The MG-100 Star Fortress bomber. This is the long one where all of the bombs fall down. Technically, the penis shaft.
Oh, is this the one from
Last Jedi?
Yeah, where the thing falls down and it's all so very tense.
Yeah.
And the last bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, a nice idea, but very slow, aren't they? They're not very.
It's weird as well because they've got Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
Why don't they just? And the Jedi, obviously, the Rebels have their equivalent of a Star Destroyer. Like, wouldn't that just have bombs? Yeah,
just send.
And it's a bigger surface area.
Perhaps the difference is that the torpedoes and that they use, the ion cannons and all this sort of stuff, has to break through a shield, which is an energy shield. Whereas those bombs are a physical bomb. Perhaps they can just go straight through.
Yeah, and that's why they use them to dunk them onto the ships.
Yeah, because if you can deflect an energy weapon using an energy shield, but you don't have a physical shield and you've got a physical weapon, perhaps the two things kind of can be broken that way.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
I don't know for sure. Like I say, there's not a lot of research goes into this, but perhaps that's the reason.
Oh, now there's one here, and this would be my choice.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the Ghost.
Right.
The Ghost is from Star Wars Rebels. I will read you this little descripto here.
Yeah.
Okay. This stealthy 144-foot-long craft, first flown by Hera Syndulla in the animated series Star Wars Rebels, stands out from the crowd thanks to what StarWars.com describes as a 360-degree dorsal laser cannon turret. It also gets bonus points for making its live-action cameo in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's climactic space battle.
Was it?
And it's now also in Ahsoka. Because, and if you remember from the Ahsoka series, there is also the littler ship, which I can't remember what it's called, but it comes out of the back of it. It's like an extra ship, but it's built into it, so that can come away.
Is it the little thing like that?
Yeah, I think so. And it clips out of the back, and then it sort of scurries off to do what it needs to do. Love that ship. Love the fact that A comes in 2 parts. It's still got a port for an astromech, which I love.
Well, I mean, you've got to have it.
You've got to have an astromech port, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to. They'd be inside where it's safe. Nah. Put them on the outside so they can scan the environment for you.
Yeah.
I love the fact it just looks... It's got that curved front with the obvious cockpit, jets at the back, guns, and it can be stealthy because I think this has got the best scrambler jamming equipment, and I think this can also cloak, if I'm right. I haven't seen Rebels in a long time, but I think it's got a bit of cloaking as well. Hence, the Ghost. ghost.
That would make sense.
Yeah. It's also one of my favourites because I love Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it becomes their base. They're their own little squadron of rebels. They don't kind of want to be when it starts, but Rebels itself is like, you're rebels not because you want to be rebels, but you believe in good. So you're fighting for good, but that makes you rebels. But you don't really care about that because you're just trying to do what's right. And you're surviving. And Hera falls in love with Jaden, and then and then they have a kid, and he dies at the end, and it's all very sad. But it's very, very, very good.
Yeah.
And the ship itself is obviously the Astromech's Chopper, who's very good. So I guess
your favourite.
My favourite little droid. Yeah, he's just so badass. I love the Ghost. I like it more than Mando's Razor Crest. I like it more than Yoda's little thing. I like it more than because he goes into the ring. Because the little ships can't go through the hyperdrive space. No, so they have to attach to the space ring to get through. Yeah, like
Obi-Wan's.
Yeah, the little starfighter. Yeah, I don't know what it is because it's also small enough, but it can also go through hyperspace without touching a ring. So it's like everything you'd want.
Just in a small enough ship.
Just in a small enough ship for you and your little mates to go on an holiday.
Road trip.
Yeah, literally. And it can outmaneuver and outgun a couple of TIE fighters.
Really?
As with every plot armoured ship.
Yeah,
in Star Wars.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've got that. That's a very good one. I think maybe a few people will agree with me there. But that is definitely like my ship. I know most people go, Millennium Falcon. I like the Ghost.
Well, let's...
Would reel off a couple more, maybe.
Let me get into TIE fighters then.
Oh, go on then, and then I'll do a few more after.
As you've mentioned, it's a TIE fighter is my ship of choice. Because that sound is... I mean, it's...
you're going to put it in now, aren't you?
I mean, I probably shouldn't
You've got to, yeah.
It is an incredible sound that it makes.
Iconic.
And technically, the TIE fighter is really quick, super agile. They should be an unstoppable force.
Oh, they should be unstoppable.
But they're basically piloted by morons who look cool.
But let's look at it from this way. Whenever we see them in action, they're fighting plot armoured heroes.
Well, exactly.
Any other instance of a TIE fighter, they would actually probably win. Yeah. It's just because we're watching Han and Luke, Leia, But I would say that they're up there.
The thing is, it's a single pilot, as it is with quite a few of these starfighters, and they're able to maneuver at high speed.
Yep.
And fire.
Yep.
Dogfighting all the way as one person.
Yeah.
Now, when I say they're morons, I know they're not morons.
They're trained star pilots.
It takes a certain class of person to become a starfighter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To become a pilot is a technical thing. So they should be good, but like you say, it's the plot armor. Darth Vader should be untouchable in his TIE Advanced.
It was the best starfighter the galaxy had ever seen.
There's no way he should have been even hit.
Yeah.
But
by
the clunky old Falcon or whatever.
Yeah, agreed.
There's no way, but plot armor got in the way and ruined it. Now my big issue is, do I like the TIE Fighter Basic, or do I want a TIE Advanced? Or for people who maybe are old enough and have played the old TIE Fighter game, my favourite was always the TIE Defender, which was pointy wings at the front.
I was going to say the Defender's the one with the pointy, almost claw-like wings, isn't it? Yeah.
And that was the fastest of the lot. Faster than the TIE Advanced, because it was just deployed to defend.
Yeah.
Get scramble to a place, get there quickly. When we watch the films, we always see the Bogo TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Or we see the TIE Advanced if Darth Vader's available. There's also TIE Bomber.
Yeah.
Which was like a double cockpit. It was a wider version
Yeah, it had two people in it, and they sat back to back.
I think that was side to side.
Oh,
the back to back TIE fighter was the one that we saw in episode 7.
Oh yeah, because Finn and Poe.
That's what they take.
Pilot one of those. Yeah.
They're the ones with the red detail, which I really like that red detail.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little bit of
red.
a bit of red. Why not? So TIE fighter for me would be my number one choice. The X-wing I quite like, but I just think it's a bit kind of boring.
Yeah.
I quite like that the wings separate.
Yeah, I do like that.
That's a cool feature. And when you first see it, when they're flying and they've got their wings closed,
yeah,
and you go, oh, there's some ships there, and the next thing you see is they open their wings, and you go, oh, okay.
And what's the music? It's the dun 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 and let's just go.
And then you go, that's why they're called X-wings.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
So TIE fighter would be my favourite.
That is a good choice. And if I was a Lone Ranger in, do you know what I mean? A TIE fighter would be good. I mean, the noise gives you away.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, noise shouldn't travel through space either. Yet somehow TIE fighters make all the noise.
But by the time that noise has hit you,
yeah,
the TIE fighter's so fast it's on you.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting blown up.
Let's have a scientific expert tell me why TIE fighters can make noise in space. In the vacuum, that's space. Yeah, we won't try and answer that now.
What you can hear is interference on the radio.
But what if you've got a jammer on the go?
That's just interference.
You're telling me no.
It's gone on all frequencies.
Yeah, even in the Clone Wars, the clone specialist ships that have all the greatest modest tech, and the TIE fighter goes, play. It's like this little war horn. Yeah, good choice that, because I thought you might go for Obi-Wan's little one man, adventure case.
We don't see enough of it.
That's very true.
We see a little bit, and he use it basically for transport.
Yeah, he doesn't fight in it, does he? He's not like Anakin who fights in it. Is it the second or third one at the beginning?
It must be the second one where they're just all fighting in space.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got long hair. It's got to be the third one.
And the third one.
But yeah, that's when you see him in action the most. But even then, Obi-Wan's not really fighting that much.
He doesn't like space travel.
No.
So he only used it literally to get from place to place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for it. And I don't like the fact that if you want to go into hyperspace,
you've got to find them rings.
You've got to get in a little... I mean, it is attached. It's being left there. That ship is...
Yeah.
It belongs to that ship. Maybe it doesn't work with anybody else's ship. Perhaps it sort of has to be connected to the correct ship. So you leave it there, and you leave it as a waypoint. You go and do your business and go back, and then off you go again. Perhaps, I don't know. It's never really explained, is it? It's just an extra thing to.
But I like the way that they say then the really small ships don't have a hyperdrive. But if they go into this little ring or a little attachment, they can then go through hyperspace.
Yeah,
which is quite cool.
It just it gets round the idea that small ships can't get into hyperspace.
Yeah, which I quite like though. It's a nice little detail for me.
And like with the TIE fighter, I don't need it to go into hyperspace.
But I think they can.
I think they can.
But I don't know if they have to be trailing or tractor beamed to the Star Destroyers.
Don't know.
I'd have to watch a couple of Clone Wars episodes to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I like the idea that they just return to base. They get back on the Star Destroyer. They get back into the Death Star. That takes them exactly where they need to be.
And then they get out and do the biz.
They hop out, shoot some lasers.
Yeah.
And get back in.
Yeah.
No, I'm all right in thinking. I think I am, if memory serves. Jedi have green and blue lightsabers to show they're good.
Yep.
The Sith have got red lightsabers.
Yep.
What colour are X-Wing lasers?
They're red.
And what colour are TIE fighter lasers?
Green.
Back to front, right?
Yeah.
I always thought that was a bit weird. It kind of doesn't...
I don't know, but green laser guns are always like menacing.
Yeah, but the lasers of the baddies, the laser swords are red because they're more menacing.
Yeah, but the laser guns are green because you see it in loads of like kiddies cartoons and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Laser guns in general are red. You know a laser gun is red because somebody in the 80s decided it's going to be red. But because they wanted it to look more sinister in space, it has to be green.
Yeah, but I think it just kind of it sort of still jars a bit because you're like, well, green's a nicer colour. Green signifies good. Like maybe green's bad in other contexts, but green generally means go, doesn't it? And red means stop, or red means bad and green means good.
Yeah, that's true. But that's yeah. I don't know, but it's always worked in my little head. Like the bad guys have that horrible sort of neon greeny guns.
So sort of slimy sort of colour.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just 1980s Ghostbusters doing it for me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so that's just something that's I've always found a bit of a weird twist. Go on then, give us another ship then. Let's see what we think.
All right then. What about the Home One? This is the Mon Calamari ship from Return of the Jedi, heavily armoured. It looks like a submarine in space.
Yeah.
That's a big ship. Admiral...
It's a trap!
Yeah. It's a trap! Yeah, I'm not keen on them.
I don't think any of the big... Well, there is one, but generally speaking, the bigger Rebel cruisers I'm not really into.
Yeah.
The only one I like is the Hammerhead Corvette.
Oh, that is a good ship.
And it's like I said to you before, the only time we ever see it working as it's supposed to work is in Rogue One.
Yeah, because they use it to smash
and it
through on
just
Scarif, don't they?
straight through the side of
of
one of the Imperial starships and then into another one, and then they take the sacrifice, but it's absolutely worth it.
Oh, it's phenomenal. But that's what they're built for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a battering.
And it's a small ship, but it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And when I say small, I mean it's still
massive, but it's not as
massive,
big as a Star Destroyer almost, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Rebel ship I actually like. In terms of the bigger stuff.
Oh, the bigger stuff, yeah. Because I was going to say next, what about the Trade Federation battleship? That's the donut with the ball in the middle. I thought that was such a cool design of ship. I thought it was so cool because obviously when the other ships dock, they go into the little bite hole in the donut, and then they can go inside.
Yeah,
I loved that. But again, Phantom Menace, that.
Yeah.
Great film for ship design and ship ideas.
Yeah, there was a lot of good ideas there, wasn't there? Mm. It must have just been because it was going to be the first film back after a long break. It must have been 13 years, I think.
Yeah. Which
actually isn't as long as you think it would be. I always think that Phantom Menace was like decades later. Yeah, but it's not really. It's only, what is it, 83. And when did Phantom Menace come out? 97, I think. So it must have been 14 years, and that was it. They must have come back and just gone, we need to come up with some cool designs for some ships, for some baddies.
Yeah.
All these various bits and pieces. Let's blow people's minds. We've seen these characters. Let's make more.
Yeah.
And so they came up with these cool ship ideas.
Yeah, they are very cool. TIE Fighter.
I was going to say before, the Naboo N1 Starfighter.
The little yellow one that Anakin flies?
Yeah, that's a cool little ship as well.
That's the one with the engines in the front, isn't it? And in the back is the almost wind drag thing.
Yeah.
And it's got the astromech port on top. That's very much akin to whose new ship? The actual design of it's taken from an N1 Starfighter.
Whose ship?
Mando's new ship.
Oh yeah.
When the Razor Crest is destroyed,
she
mods a M1 Starfighter because he says, doesn't he? A Naboo Starfighter, that's old. And everyone went, "Oh my god, yes, a little bit of launch on, well done."
Yes. Oh yes, I remember now. Yeah, it's such a cool design, isn't it? And
yeah.
It looks nippy, and it looks like it's.
I'm just looking at it now. The little port for the astromech behind your head. You slot him in like a USB. You fire up the engines. And as well, with this ship, if there's an issue, you don't need the droid to tell you because you can see the engine in front of you.
Mm.
You're not waiting on the droid to go, "Oh yeah, got to get out, boss, because one of the engines is fried. You can go, the engine's frying over there.
Yeah, why is there a fire in space?
Yeah, in space, yeah. Surely they would just cool straight away and explode. Yeah, great little ship that. Yeah. And that's when they sort of brought out some of the new TIE fighters, didn't they, in Phantom Menace? They tried like the Stalkers and the BRs and all of that.
Yeah, they were all pre-TIE fighter design, but you can see the influence
of them in
and I really like that actually it was the supposed good guys flying those TIE fighter prototypes.
Yeah. TIE Striker. What sort of else have I got here? Loads of TIE variants. Y-Wing.
Yeah, that's the bomber.
That's the bomber. That's just your typical sort of, I would say, non-orbit space ship.
Yeah.
Because you want to be sort of on inner world bombing. You're flying around in space on them things. They don't look very protected, do they? There's nothing to them, really.
So if I remember, I'm basing this on a computer game that's really, really old, but those Y-Wings had a lot of good power. They had better missiles, but they were very weak.
Yeah,
they would fall apart very quickly, and I think that's true. You see them in A New Hope. I think they're right there from the start.
Yeah, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, they're a classic. They're not quite as good as the X-Wing, but the X-Wing's a dogfighter.
Yeah,
that's the one that's taken on the TIE fighter. The Y-Wings don't really attack the TIE fighters because they just. I don't think they can turn with that design. Their turning circle's not very good.
No.
So they are used for attacking bigger ships or, like a bomb and run. Like you get that to the surface of a Star Destroyer, and it'll be able to take out some of those cannons.
Yeah.
But you've got to get it there first.
That's it. You've got to get it there and keep it alive.
Yeah. Same with like the A-Wing. I think the A-Wing was a bit of a dogfighter. But we didn't see many of those.
No.
I don't know if they were just an outdated design. Perhaps they were like pre-X-Wing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it's the one-sided thing, Yeah, maybe a bit older. What about then, I know you did mention this at the beginning of the cast, Slave One. That is Jango Fett's ship. Obviously, Boba modifies it a little bit, but it lands on its back.
It's a big iron.
Yeah, but when it flies, it obviously goes vertical and then flies that way. And it obviously emits the seismic charges in space, which again makes audio in space. But yeah, that's the ship that the big...
Yeah. I really like... Well, so it's Slave 2, which was always the one that I remember. That's Boba's ship.
Yeah.
And because of the design of it, because it was like a big iron, and it flew in the direction you didn't think it was going to fly, it goes big side first rather than trying to cut through. Yeah, which obviously doesn't matter in the vacuum of space, but it was so radical in design at the time that you think, "Oh, that's awesome."
That's an awesome ship.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of them like that.
And that's single man in there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a single man.
And it's probably bigger than most other ships.
Because I guess for bounty hunters, it's like the Razor Crest for Mando. While you're between bounties, you need somewhere to store these bounties.
Yeah, that's it. You need the storage space.
You need to be able to sleep on the go. Mm-hmm. So it's also like a home from home. It's not like you're going back to Coruscant and you need just a little zipper.
No.
It's you are in this for the slog. Yeah.
What about Kylo Ren's ship with the folding wings?
Yeah, well, isn't that a modified?
It looks like one of the Lambert shuttles.
Yes,
but without the big dorsal fin on the top of it.
Yeah.
But bigger, more black, more imposing.
Yeah, when he lands, it's just so sort of...
Yeah.
And then obviously when the doors open, all the steam comes out from the pressure.
As always.
Every single spaceship does that. Yeah. Oh, I do like Kylo Ren's ship. That's very, very cool.
It's very sleek, isn't it? But it's very menacing. Again, I think it's quite sign of the times.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not curvy anymore, we've gone back into angles,
Yeah.
but not 80s, 70s, 80s angles. We've gone into aggressive by colour.
Yeah.
You know, matte black, sort of dark black with red.
Yeah, red lights, you know, to match his lightsaber, and every time he's around, there's always a red glow.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it just sort of accentuates that it is a part of Kylo Ren.
yeah, definitely. So I really like that ship. I think it's quite good. Again, it's not a single man ship, so you'd have a little crew on there, but he's not flying, is he?
No, and if he is, he's
he's depriving somebody else of a job.
Doesn't he actually use it? Or does he jump in a TIE fighter?
I've got a feeling he might jump into something else. When they meet Luke Skywalker,
yeah,
or he thinks he's meeting Luke Skywalker, they've got all the walkers there on that planet.
They've got the AT-ATs, haven't they?
He's in his ship, and he's not flying. So it's him, and it's what's his face?
Oh,
yeah, Donald Gleason.
Yeah.
They're in the ship, and he's not flying. He's just saying more. So I don't think he ever pilots it. I think he is just getting transported.
Like the little pansy he is, doesn't even fly their own bloody ship. All right. A bonus mention here: the invisible hand. Do you know what that is? You might not remember.
Is it in Solo?
No.
Then I don't remember.
It is the ship. Sorry, my mouth was too far away from the mic. It's the ship that Anakin kills Count Dooku on in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay.
It is 3,280 feet long.
Ooh.
It's the black one that basically looks like a dildo. It's got a little grey bit round the middle for you to hold.
Yeah, around the shaft.
And then it's got the bulbous bit at the other end. Yeah, and obviously on the bridge. Do it.
Yes.
I don't know why it's called the Invisible Hand. Why it's got a name. Because you don't get that vibe in the film that it's got a name.
No.
You're just like that, they're on a ship.
But old ships have names, I suppose, otherwise it's bad luck.
Well, maybe. Darth Vader's The Devastator. It's a 5,250 foot long Imperial class Star Destroyer.
That's the one in Empire Strikes Back, isn't it?
And you can tell it's his because it's got the top extra bit of.
Well, it doesn't have all like the sort of the radar dishes and all the stuff at the top like the other ones.
No, it's got an extra command hub.
Yeah,
up there. It's got the bigger command hub,
and it's way bigger.
Yeah, 40,000 crew, and it's the first one we see chasing Tantive 4. The Finalizer, Last Jedi, General Hux's ship, massive, 9,500 feet long.
I've got two other ships for you.
Okay.
One glaringly obvious.
I was going to get to it in the end.
Okay, we'll come back to it. The other one is in Solo.
Mm.
The bad guy's ship is like a big barge, isn't it? Like it's a big yacht. That kind of just it's more like a tall tower that sort of sails.
Yeah.
It could go into space. It is a starship.
It is a starship, isn't it?
But it kind of just sort of hovers just off the ground a lot.
Mm.
That's a cool looking ship, I think.
Yeah, cool design.
Because it is like a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Of a ship, also designed as a yacht with sails.
Yeah. Because it's luxury, isn't it? Is that the one which is supposed to be luxury based?
Yeah, it's super high end.
Yeah.
Like super yacht.
That's cool. They've taken stuff because they did it in Book of Boba Fett with the Vespers, didn't they?
Yeah.
They like taking every now and then something from the real world and sort of giving it life in a Star Wars film. Because a yacht in our world is, you have a fair bit of money if you own a yacht.
Well, yeah, and that's the impression we get, isn't it, from those guys? What are they called? Not the Red Hand or something, are they? Red Dawn? Or is that, or have I got that confused with Oblivion? There's a cult in Oblivion. Anyway, I think as a ship, I think that's quite a cool design, and just something that's not really seen. All of the ships we see are either starfighters, which are small, built for purpose, single seater, or maybe a couple of people sit in there. But every button in there is just for shooting down, and flying. The Star Destroyers, the Death Stars, the Rebel command ships, all of these other ships are again not built for luxury. They're built for utility.
Yep.
Whereas I think this one in Solo it's a luxury barge.
Yeah. I know which one you're on about. Yeah, it's not like it's got loads of troop holdings and other ships hidden in there.
No, it might have like
stuff like that.
It might have some like special forces on there, and it definitely have some guns and cannons and whatever.
Yeah.
But the interior of it that we see is designed for the upper classes.
Yeah.
For those people with a bit of money who want an audience with
the top dogs.
Yeah. Those nefarious but very rich people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's quite a cool looking ship. Anyway, on to the last one then.
And it's Lando. It's Han Solo's Millennium Falcon. Iconic with all of Star Wars. In fact, maybe played upon too much.
Maybe too much. It's. I think it's a weird thing, isn't it? Because if you say name a ship from Star Wars, the chances are that I think most people would go Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it plays such a big part. Like you see the X-Wings and people, they're iconic in themselves, and TIE fighters are the same.
Yeah.
But they're just in the background. They're also there, but Millennium Falcon is the base.
Yeah.
Of all operations for this.
For our little gang of heroes, anyway.
And so every time we see that ship, we're always invited on board.
Yep.
We always get to see the cockpit. We always get to see them going to hyperspace. We always get to see under the floorboards.
Yeah.
and usually the cannon at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the cannon getting knocked off, or the radar dish, or whatever. In that Solo film, I thought it was really cool that when you first see that ship, it's still got the escape pod on the front.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we always knew something was there.
Mm.
But there was no explanation at any point why that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, and it's going to sound really nerdy, if you look at the Corellian YT class, they've all got that at the front.
Mm-hmm.
Why was the Millennium Falcon different? People ask this question, never explained in the films.
No.
Until we get to Solo.
Yeah, and then it shows you.
Yeah. And it does get dinged up quite a lot.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's so iconic because it's the first, episode 4. It's the first spaceship you go in.
Yeah.
It's the first spaceship where you're kind of walked around the ship
by
the people in the film without realising that they're giving you a tour.
It's a character in its own right.
Yeah, yeah. And then when they go to hyperspace for the first time, you're sat there.
Yeah.
And all the buttons kick in, and they do the little,
And they push the little handle forward.
And then
together.
Yeah, and then it's just I agree. It's like it's a character because you spend so much time in there as well. You think when they're traveling, he's got the loading screen, almost in a game of the.
It's your tour guide to space travel.
Yeah. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And Star Wars is space travel.
Yeah.
And the Millennium Falcon is that guide because you learn everything you need to learn about getting around, and you see some cool tricks as well.
Yeah.
Sticking yourself to the back of the Star Destroyer and leaving like rubbish.
Yeah.
To be chased by Slave 2.
Yeah.
There's stuff that they do in that ship which is improbable.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be able to go through the vents of Death Star 2.
No.
But somehow it does.
Yeah, yeah.
It's...
because it flies through the actual vents, doesn't it? Yeah, because the vents are so big.
Yeah, Lando flies it. It is close. I think a few bits do come off the ship, but it's very close, but it's doable.
Yeah.
You know, when we see him at the end of A New Hope, it's not in the main fight, so we know it's not a real fighting ship.
Yeah.
You can fight. It's got dedicated cannons that it needs a person, top and bottom,
Yeah.
to defend itself. But it's not really a fighter.
No.
But if it needs to be, it can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and
just,
it needs to be crewed as well to
Yeah.
be a fighter. You need at least 4 people on that ship
yeah, there has to be 2 pilots
and 2 fighters.
and 2 fighters, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they normally go with just 2.
Yeah, and one of them jumps in the thing and the other one flies it.
Yeah.
But that's because they're legends.
It's really good. And I tell you what, I know it does get overplayed quite a lot, but when we see it in episode 7, and it's a hunk of junk, and it gets...
and it's covered over in the junkyard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go for the quad jumper, which then gets blown up.
Yeah.
And then, a hunk of junk it is, and they get in there, and yeah, it's not great, and it's definitely
Battered.
old, and it's battered, and it's past its best. But Ray flies it so beautifully.
Yeah, straight
Like,
away. Never been in a ship before.
But she even does a mid-air stall
Yeah.
because the cannon was jammed in place.
Yeah.
But does it so that she can line up the shot so that Finn can take it and just take out a TIE fighter. Some amazing fighting.
Yeah, that's the Falcon doing all that. I can't believe Ray was that. The Falcon just went, let me take over.
The Falcon is the Force.
Yeah, it is a transformer in disguise. And it is the embodiment of the Force.
Yes. A really cool ship.
Yeah, I like the design and I like how iconic it is. I was always a bit like in episode 9 when she flies it at the end and it's now like her ship. And I'm like, oh, but...
It's not her ship.
It's not her ship. It'll always be Han's ship to me, even though it was Lando's.
Yeah.
It's always Han and Chewie's ship. And, you know, and I thought a nicer send-off would have been, oh, Chewie's going back to Kashyyyk. Let him take the ship.
Yeah.
You know, because they might need it. But no, they're just going to continue to ding it about. But no, very good. I do love the design as well.
Just let's just sidestep a bit because we love sidestepping. Why
Let's
not?
do it. Come on then.
As an alternative ending for Han Solo,
Yeah.
because I think we all agree that bringing them back in that first episode was a nice little nod to those old fans.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does get overplayed. And it was good that he was killed off.
Yeah.
As much as we love Han Solo, we don't want him to die. Wouldn't it have been better if they'd had their talk and then Han Solo escapes? Kylo's unable because the bombs go off.
Yeah.
They escape back to the Falcon. They hop in, and then there's a fight. Kylo Ren's in his ship, or he's in some sort of starfighter.
Yeah. More.
And they're trying to escape, or they're trying to fight back. But Kylo Ren wins that fight.
Yeah.
Falcon gets blown up.
Captain goes down with the ship.
Han Solo's down. We lose Chewie as well, which is also a massive shame.
Mm.
But we take that part of the story that we love and we leave it back in the trilogy that we love.
Yeah.
New story.
Yeah.
New characters. We don't need to rely on some iconic...
We could do with a new ship.
Yeah, we don't need the Falcon anymore. The Falcon was good
Yeah.
back in 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
The Falcon's no good anymore.
Yeah.
Destroy it.
Yeah.
Let them get a new ship. Let them do something different.
I mean, look at Clone Wars and Rebels. They had all these cool ships on the animated series.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. Mando, Ahsoka. You're telling me that they couldn't make some cool, like, I don't know, classical looking spaceship, but go, do you know what? That's their new ship.
Yeah.
And you go, all right, that's the start of a new era then.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Just, they need... I think one of the problems with that later trilogy, and we are really going off topic here, is the dependence on nostalgia.
We've always said this, haven't we?
Yeah,
We've always said this.
It's nice that they pop in.
Yeah.
But I want them to pop back out again as soon as possible. You know, just, oh, maybe this will help you on your journey. Okay, great. Who is that? I don't know. Some old guy.
Yeah. Who was that woman? Was that Leia Organa? Couldn't be.
Or she could be in charge of the rebels, but she could be sat in Coruscant.
Yeah, she doesn't have to
She doesn't
be
have to be on the
everywhere.
ship.
She's everywhere. You know, Han Solo. And the thing that annoys me about that, and I'm going even more off topic now. Why I know he had to give up the Falcon at first, but I don't think Han Solo would give up the Falcon without a fight.
Never.
So, and then why are they smuggling some extra-dimensional Doctor Strange bullshit? You see Multiverse of Madness, you know what I'm on about, right? Why are they smuggling the tentacles from another dimension on some random ship without a crew that just gets boarded by pirates? They just had to do a scene where Chewie and Han save the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like that, but they're saving the day from what?
Yeah.
What are they doing? It's not their ship. It was the big, oh look, Han Solo and Chewie's still in the films. No, because they're not on the Falcon, which we've already established, and they're not smuggling. They're being idiots.
Yes.
It was a bit funny, sort of. Somebody's gone. I don't quite know what their friendship was like, but I'll write a scene to cement it.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen the other films and how they talk to each other? Because it wasn't. Yeah, I just think if they were going to bring Han back, A, had to be in the Falcon, and B, they should have just buggered off again.
Yeah, they should.
Or like you say, got killed. I can't be in this fight, kid. I'm too old. See ya. Bang. Off. Gone.
Yeah.
There's a really nice ship over there, which looks a bit cool. The kids will love it because it's... Oh, look, it's a Naboo starfighter.
It's the N2.
It's the N2.
Ooh, a little upgrade.
Yeah, little upgrade. Looks like a long, stingray, but it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, take that. Oh, look, it's the new ship of Rey.
Yeah.
Lovely. Or maybe she could have just had like a modified X-Wing. She didn't need to have the Falcon.
No, and I think that dependence on those old factors...
Yeah, it kind of ruined the new films in a way.
Yeah, was to the detriment of the entire series.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a little ship chat. Thanks for listening to us talk ship.
Yeah. No, I like ones like that. If you want to hear any more descriptions of ships, or maybe you've got a picture in mind and you don't know what film it's from, send it over.
Yeah.
I'll have a little dig, maybe. I mean, I don't really do research, but if you say, Sean, I saw this ship on an advert and I can't remember where it's from. Is it Star Wars? I'll go, yes, it is. This is why. Or, no, it's not. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think, this was a slightly different episode to what we've done in the past. It's nice to sort of explore what we would choose as ships.
Yeah, yeah.
What we think would be most practical. I think, if I was a single fighter, it's TIE fighter all day long. But I think if I was in a crew...
Would you be with me on the Ghost?
I would be with you on the Ghost, because that's a cool looking ship. And I don't want a big crew. I want a small crew, tight-knit crew in a ship that can do everything.
With Chopper. But
also isn't infamous across the entire galaxy as being the smuggler's ship of choice.
Yeah.
It's, the Falcon's a cool ship, but I don't want to be on it.
No, too big. Everybody knows what it looks like now.
Yeah, it's been in too many battles, and people would just see it and go, oh, we need to destroy that ship.
Yeah.
Have something a bit more discreet.
Yeah, this is it.
And so
such a big... The only thing as well, they've got such a big surface area for bombs. It's a big flat disc.
It is, yeah.
It's one of the worst designs for... I know it's iconic. It's one of the worst designs for a ship, really.
That's why it's got to have the cannons top and bottom.
Yeah, to protect the disc.
Yeah.
What if they just flew it vertical instead of horizontal?
Yeah.
It would just, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it is cool. I think those would be, Ghost and TIE Fighter. I think are actually two very solid choices out of what we've seen.
Yeah.
I think the Nabooian
ship.
However you want to say that. Yeah, those are cool ships.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Because they look good.
Yeah.
But they're not what I would choose.
No. And even the one Qui-Gon goes down to Tatooine in. Oh. It just looks like a chrome children's toy.
Yeah.
And it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's all orange and glowy inside. Why?
Because it's cool. It's cool to have glow.
I know, but I prefer the windows. Natural sunlight. Anyway.
Anyway. Right. Let's wrap it up there.
Let's do it.
Good talking to you as always.
And you, my man. You going to say it all this time, or am I going to get to say my tagline?
Right, look after yourself.
Be good.
And stay out of the sand.
Thank you.
You're welcome.